was I so? We live, baby. Can you hear me, teacher? What's good, bro? Is the volume good? Is the volume all right? Let me know if the volume's good, because I unplugged my mic after. I think you guys can hear me. You should be able to hear me. Should be able to hear me. So we'll kind of go over what I'm expecting today. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to post on my story real quick. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Currently in gold shorts. Okay, got you. Okay. Sounds good. But you can hear me though, right? Like I just want to make sure you can hear me. Everything should be straight, I think. Just want to make sure that it actually looks. How is the quality, the picture quality? Is it fine? Because I really have no idea if it is or isn't. Okay, so we're gonna kind of go over what we'll be expecting today. So remember like I guess a couple days ago, I was looking for these highs, the PM session high from Tuesday to get taken out, and we just fell short and we came back down. We came down, dug a little bit deeper down into the daily fair value gap. If we look at it on the daily chart, we dug down deeper into here, which I wasn't necessarily expecting, but that's fine. Dug a little bit deeper. We ended up taking shorts, got stopped out, but it is what it is. So today, when we opened up last night, we pretty much had one side direction going higher. Now, what I did notice also is we have SMT at the highs. ES was unable to take out its Wednesday high, so I do see that. We traded down into a daily. I'm in a 1 hour fair value gap. What's good, Bruda? How you doing? We're trading down into this hourly BISI right here, and we have this order. We have this breaker here as well. So we're looking to see that, but we have a large gap opening today, so not necessarily really looking to initially buy right off rip. We have a large range on that, so we'll be a little bit cautious on the buying aspect, at least right now. Don't want to chase it. I had a trade set up. If you saw my Instagram down here, looking for a buy to trade up to the new week opening gap. So that was something that I was looking for yesterday. I was looking for price to go higher. Yeah, so I'm thinking a reverse. Yeah, reverse. So I'm thinking that we're gonna probably get a reversal and come tap this. That's what I would like to see. That's what I'm expecting. I think these lows down here, we could run these a little bit. Maybe we'll come a little bit deeper, maybe not. We do have this 15-minute gap here. Just kind of waiting and seeing what exactly we're going to get. I am, again, thinking we're going to trade up here. Like for them to come up and leave that, and we tapped it. So we didn't necessarily like take it out. But again, we have to remember there's SMT from Wednesday's high with ES right now. So just have to be a little bit wary of that and understanding. I might have a little bit of time to go over yesterday's trade. So it's on a different account. I was talking last stream how I have an account where I pretty much take everything that I see, and last night I was sitting here and I was just kind of watching and looking at the market, and I was like, okay, this thing's continuously trading higher. It's consistently trading higher. Where here, I'll open the account actually, you can see. It's literally called Trading Drills. That's what I call the account. So this is the account where right or wrong, doesn't matter. I don't really care about that. It's just taking everything that I see, and if I had held it, that's a pretty nice trade, right? They're buying down there and even going up there. It doesn't even need to go up there. Taking above that high as well. Really nice trade. But since we have a little bit of time here, so pretty much I was watching the 5-minute chart here. As you see, there's some stuff over here. Again, me just trying things. So I was watching a 5-minute chart. So I saw this, we moved up, and I was like, dang, okay, so I'll buy the next one. I was busy, so I couldn't even buy that one. So I didn't end up getting in that one either. I was like, okay, well, the next time it does that, like, I'm going to buy and then take it up to the new week opening gap low from last week. And something that I was watching on the 15-minute chart, I was like, okay, so if this, because I'm trying to get into more of a, let's say, observational, or looking at more observations of looking at the market and not being like, okay, this is exactly what's happening. It's like, okay, I'm looking at the market and what is it showing me? So when I looked yesterday, and we were, I think at this point, we were here. No, we were actually here. So we had, if this was in fact bearish, this is a balanced price. We have sell side liquidity here. This is really balanced. So the fact that we were able to trade above it, to me, gave me some indication, okay, we're most likely bullish, and I'm not looking for these gaps to resist price. So that was my understanding. So then once I saw us trade above it, I was like, okay, the next time it trades down into it on a lower time frame, if I go to the 1-minute chart, and it creates a expansion movement away and then comes back down, that's what I was buying. So initially this had happened and I thought I missed it, so I just bought it because I was okay. It was a close proximity. So as it traded lower, I bought more closer to this gap, and then when it traded above this volume imbalance, I bought it there again as it traded down into this volume imbalance, took some partials, and then I took it off at the low end of the new week opening gap from last week. So that was like kind of the framework of this trade. I didn't get down here. That didn't matter. And trusting that this is exactly what I'm looking for, and this looks cleaner where like it expands away and comes back down to a discount. That's what I was looking for. And so when I saw that move, I trusted that, you know, these lows and this right here was just another expansion move to trade higher. And ultimately we were close to the target. And so that's why I get a little bit of this consolidation here. I guess people trip people and maybe think that there's a top forming and then ends up, you know, trading lower. So that was my like trade yesterday. That was really short, pretty quick. I guess it was like 30 minutes or so, which is roughly like the longest that my trades will be. It'll be about 30 minutes or so. So I would have most likely never even held it all the way up there, even if I believed it could go all the way up there. But today, again, I think we're looking for this. We may have to clean up some sell side first before that. Remember, we have a large opening range gap, like almost 200 points, 200 handles. So just keeping an eye out on that. No need to rush or to force anything. Again, just being able to have the ability to find a consistent setup and just to stay there, right? We don't need to rush in anything. We don't need to chase anything, because that's what I think is going to happen. Remember, if it's about 120 handles or more, you're looking at, you don't want to follow that initially, especially with no high impact news event. Today, I believe there's no news. I'm going to check again, but I'm sure that there's no news. Looking at those lows, expanding on the overnight. Yeah, so that's, yeah, this right here to me looks suspect. So buying initially is not something that I want to do. And honestly, we could get like a, I'm not going to personally take it if it happens off rip, but you probably could come up here and then trade lower. I'm not going to just take it off rip, but I just want to check the economic calendar, because I've had that before where I was not expecting any news event. Yeah, so no, we don't have anything. Okay, so that we, especially because we don't have anything, just being patient. Again, this is where I think they're going to take it up here and try to expand it. Now, do we reach the AM session high from Monday and Tuesday, those highs? I don't really know about that. It could be in the cards for today, or we could leave this trade lower and kind of stay inside this range. We could do that, and then next week we could take out these highs. So I don't really know what exactly what they're going to do. Like, I can't tell you that. I'm just more observing and kind of looking at where is price right now, what is it most likely to do, and if I can figure out what it's most likely going to do, can I frame a setup that makes sense to me, and then going higher is what I'd want to see, but I'm not buying that right now. We're too overextended, especially over the overnight session there. These lows to me look extremely suspect, so I'm not going to be looking for that off rip. So if we're looking at right now, again, we want to look at the regular trading hours. This is where we closed here. If we go to electronic trading hours, we're way up here. So to me, I'm not looking to buy right now. Not right now. Not from where it's currently at. I mean, that's what, 207 handles. Like, it's too much for me personally. So that's where we are. So knowing that, this is where we closed on Wednesday, and this is where, somewhere around here, obviously it's not 9:30 yet, but this is where we'll open. So interesting how they kind of went up there to the PM session highs. Again, we went above this high, but then we went to this is a daily high, don't get me wrong, it's a daily high, but we went to a session high back over here. So for me, being a little bit more patient with this and allowing it to show me what it wants to do, and that's the big thing for me, is allowing that to happen, allowing that to show up, and then just going from there. So yeah, next week is when I'll start my trading on the funded accounts. They'll be that's when I'll start trading on them, is next week. Slowly get back into what I would normally be trading with, because it's the beginning of the year. Just getting back into doing that. That's how I'm going to attack the market next week, is, slow. I'm not trying to start off with bangers. Like, that's not my trading style. So once I get comfortable going back on that from being on this, then that's when I'll start, changing the contract sizes and all that type of stuff. Like when I go through that process for me. So that's when I'll start doing that. So this will change. It won't be this. And just like an indication, if you're thinking, if you want to know like what I'm thinking about the day, if it's this, if you see trading view, I'm not as interested. Like, that's what that's telling me. No, I already have the evals. I'm already funded with Top Step. I already have them. I have the 50K account. I have 2 of those. I already have them already. And then here, I can show you. It's not that deep. Let me show you. So I already have 2 Express funded accounts with them. So these are the accounts right here. I have 2 of them. I don't think that there's anything that shouldn't be on there. But yeah, so I have 2 evals with them funded. And yeah, so next week is when I'll start trading with them. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. That's pretty much what. Okay, cool. You're trying to pass alpha feature. So I've never heard of them yet. Actually, no, I've heard of them a little bit, but I don't really know much about them. I'm trying to look and get into other ones. Outside of Top Step. I was thinking maybe Apex, because I'm trying to find the ones where you can all connect and kind of trade off one. That's what I'm looking for. So appreciate it, Corgi. Just trying to figure out how I can do that, because I want to trade them differently. So I'd probably keep Top Step. Oh, Top Step's banned in your country. Okay. I kind of want to figure out. So I want to trade Top Step probably a little bit more aggressively, and then have the other ones I'll trade more, I'll say calm or more relaxed, because I can have multiple accounts over that. Where Top Step, like they kind of have been doing a little bit of wishy-washy stuff. So I'll give Top Step in one my funded futures. Okay, so I want to do them too. I haven't got into them yet. I'm trying to get into copy trading, where I'm trading like 25 to, we could say, 50 accounts. And I saw someone trading 75 accounts, which I didn't even know was possible. So that's kind of interesting. Just do 75 accounts, 1,000 a week. You're chilling, right? If you can do that consistently, you're chilling. So that's kind of like one of my goals, is to just copy trade them, because you don't have to do too much. But yeah, so we'll see what's happening here. What account size do you have, Corgi? So we'll see what we get here. I want to see us initially trade lower. Now, if we come up here and then reject strongly, then I'll look for down here. That's not what I want to see, though. Yeah, I'm telling you. Like, you don't need those 400K accounts, 150K accounts. Like, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. 100K with Top Step and 150K. Yeah, I'm like, you don't really need that much, especially if you can get a lot of the copy trading the accounts. Like, you really don't got to do that much, and you realize that you don't have to risk that much either. I think a lot of the issue is most people, they get those small accounts and they're trying to risk everything, and that's what makes it harder. Versus if you have multiple accounts, you really ain't got to make that much. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard the guy, I think his name is Matt, Trades by Matt or something. ICT had talked about him a little bit. Dude had 50K accounts or something, and your bias is bearish for today. Okay. For off rip, it would be that for me as well, because we're so overextended. We have these lows here. I want to see if we're trading up here first, or we come down and trade up there. I want to see if we can hit this PM session high today. That's kind of where my focus is. If we come up there first, then break down, then I'm looking at down there. That's kind of what it has for me. So you said we tapped into the current dealing range. Yeah, we did that as well. And yeah, same low. So that's essentially what I'm looking for down here. But I want to see us go up here first, because we have a 200-point gap. I'm not looking to buy right now, based off of like where we are in terms of that. Yeah, on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, 5-minute chart, we have a little bit of breaker for a value gap. I see that. Kind of trading up into that, a little bit deeper into that. So, like, again, I don't trust these lows at all. Like, that's not happening. There'd be no buying happening for me. I want to see us go up here. But again, remember, understanding on the daily chart. If we go to, we're going to go to the 1-hour chart. We're going to split it, and we're going to go to look at ES as well. So notice how ES, we're unable to take out the high. Where is it? Let's go on the daily chart. You can see. Oops. What time is it? So we have about 30 seconds. So this high we got taken out there. This high was unable to take it out. So that's what I'm looking at as well. But we'll see what ends up happening when we get this market open here. So again, was I on the 5-minute before? Yeah. I think I was on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, so these lows are suspect for me. We have a large opening range gap of like almost 200 handles. So buying right now for me would be on the sideline, unless we were to come down here and show some type of willingness to trade higher and then want to take out that high. So it's 9:30 now. Let's see what happens here. I'd want to see us take this out. So if we can take this out, first and then break lower, I would be interested in that. But as of until then, I'm not interested. So we'll see what we end up getting here. Again, no rush. Let's go to the 1 minute chart here so we can kind of watch and see. So now we know we have sell side down here. I'm going to take this one. That would be the sell side I would choose. Where are we? Sell side delivery right there. And then this would be like that wouldn't even be, that's more sell side down there. Okay, I was just looking for the Asia low. So it's really deep down there. So buy side here is where I'm thinking that we're probably going to target. I started to realize, I think on YouTube, I think it's too small. I want to get like a little closer, better view of everything. I think I have it too small just because it looks big on my screen, but I think on your guys' screen it's not as big. So I'm just trying to fix that as well. So this is not the first presented for value gap, even if it forms, because it's at 930. So that's nothing that we're looking for. But I want to see it trade up here. I want to see if we can trade up here and then break down aggressively. If we can do that, that would be for me a nice short down to these lows, if that is in fact what happens. Because buying right now, again, for me is not on the table as well. Unless we would have maybe came down here first, then that. But until then, there's really nothing here. So we're going to see how it plays out. Remember, it's the day after bank holiday. That's number one. Number two, everyone has seen it jump up overnight. So what are they trying to do? Buy. So I'm not trying to be with them, right? That's what most people are trying to do, trying to catch it and see if they can, jump onto the move that has already started. So I'm not interested in any of that. And just got to be patient and watch, because we want strikes, like executed strikes, single strikes. We're not sitting here trying to take multiple shots. That's not at least what I want to do. I don't want to take 50 million shots because it's just moving, right? So we'll see what we end up getting here. The sell side, I would have liked it better if it came up here. I don't like for me personally, that's like the thing I probably don't like the most, is when there's a high, and it just comes up there and then fails, right? That's the one thing that I don't like the most, because I don't necessarily trust it the most when I see that. That's just the way that I look at price and the way that I read it. I don't necessarily trust it when that happens at all. So let me just figure out where okay. So 75% of the gap is here. So if we had gone up here first and then created this gap, I would take this sell down to here. But the fact that we did not, I don't like it as much. It's still possible, still plausible. This would be the gap here if it closes like that. But that's just internally what I'm seeing. I don't like, sorry. And so what I see is this inverse gap here as well. See the inverse for value gap? FEG, where is it? There it is. There's an inverse for value gap on the 1 minute chart. So if this would have done this, I feel more confident taking this trade, and I would have taken it probably right there at the volume imbalance and allowed it to trade up a little bit higher, which would be fine. And if it traded deeper, I would take the trade deeper, and then I would look for down here just because of the sell side and where it is. But for me, because it didn't take this out, I'm not as interested right now, because it didn't take out the high. I don't like that. I don't like that it fell short. I think it's a trap. So that's why I'm personally not doing it. That's why I don't like it. Again, we took this out first. Like, I'm just explaining my process. If we had taken this out first, I trust this. The fact that we did not, I don't. And it's okay if it does this and comes down here. I'm okay with missing that. It's just the way that I look at price. The bodies are nice. They stayed in the lower portion of this gap. of this inverse fair value gap. So it looks right now that it is supporting the idea that we could trade lower, especially to this the upper portion of this gap there. It looks like we could do that. Okay, so I like that reaction there. So let's see if we can. We have to close below this and trade back up into it, and then I would take a short. I'd use less leverage, but that's what I would do. As long as we don't run too aggressively and be way down here, then I'm not interested. But we need to close below this. For me, that would be a bearish order block. So if we trade up into it, I'll sell it. We might not get it. So I'm watching right now. Okay, I'll take the sell there. And my TP is going to go here. And my stop loss is going to go right above there. Okay, that looks like that is... Okay, so I got immediate feedback that that's probably not the right trade. Okay. So I'm watching again. Okay, so I got immediate feedback, but that was not the right one, not the right time yet, and that's okay. So let's see what we get here. Again, I'm not rushing to get in. Okay, so my initial process of thinking that it should probably go up here first, looks like that's what's happening first. Okay. So now I'm just watching. I'm not in a hurry to make it back. I'm not in a hurry. I might have just needed to trade a little bit deeper into that before taking out the low, and that's fine. Which it looks like that's the case, so I'll have to go in with like 2 if it can do that. So we trade up a little bit deeper than I would have liked on that one. So I think that this is probably still in play before that. That's what I'm thinking internally right now. That most likely, again, coming up here before that, I think is what's in play. But I'm just being patient right now because I don't, after how fast I lost, that's letting me know that I'm probably just a little bit too early in my decision. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm watching this wick right now, and we're staying in the upper portion of this wick. Is this, now I'm seeing, is this supporting price, or is this going to finally let it go and see if it could trade lower? That's what I'm looking at. But right now, what we're seeing off the open is really not much, because we went up, came down, now we're back in the middle. And again, this is the first presented fair value gap over here. The one that candle that formed at 932, it would be the first presented fair value gap. And again, it might have just traded up a little bit more deeper into the range and it came down, but there was no way I was taking up here and put my stop loss up there. That was not about to happen. I didn't like that trade. The risk to reward for me just wasn't there. So we trade up into this one, the 930 gap. So again, we may get another shorting opportunity here. I'm not looking for buys right now, especially because it didn't do that. I'm not looking for buys. Just want to see something. Okay. So we have 18 seconds left here. So we traded back down to the gap, the original gap that I was looking for to short. Went a little bit higher. So what I want to see is if we can not just rush down here quick and we can create a gap here and not rushing down too quickly, I'll take that as an entry. Like I'm okay with waiting, and I would expect this to hold right here. So however, like wherever the gap forms, that's what I'll expect, and that's what I'll use to take lower, as long as we don't just scream lower off like right now. Then, because if we come down here first and like then that's it. Like there's really nothing there for me. I'd have to wait, and I probably would most likely wait until 10 o'clock if that is the case. So I took 3 last time, I think it was 3 contracts. I'll take 2 if we can trade up there, which to me, I don't know if we'll do that. So I'll probably layer it actually. So if we can trade up into this, I'll take 1. I don't think we're going to get it. Okay, so if we do that, I'll take 2. Fell short. Just a little bit more. And I'll take it there. So I'll take this one. Then I'll look at this to trade there. Put my stop loss above that wick, above there, and kind of just let it go and see what we get here. That's what I would expect for price to hold, and that I wouldn't want to see it trade any higher than that. Also looking to see if we can trade down to 75% of like the gap, or I guess the lower quadrant, which would be down here, about 75. It's like right here, I don't know, 25,629.50. That's what I'll be looking for in terms of a potential for price to trade there. Again, not as heavy, because I would have much rather liked for it to take out. But if I'm just looking at price and what's happened, that's just what I see next, right? That's the next thing that I see. So we want to see if it can trade down to the quarter, which is here. Let me just map that out. The quarter is here. There, see if we can trade there. This reaction I'm not liking as much, but I'm looking at the bodies. Like where are the bodies closing? I like that close right there. But the wicks are what does the damage, and so I have to sit and wait. So I guess that should have hit my stop loss. It did not. It looks like I'm probably gonna stop that again. Okay, so that's 2. So now I have to really wait. I can't take a trade right now. I gotta wait till 10 o'clock at this point, because I'm still thinking that it's going up here. I have to wait till 10. Because right now it's not. Right now we had a response from here, trade lower, fair value gap, initial nice response, and then did not offer that. So for me, if I'm looking at this right now, I don't want to be in this, because this doesn't look anything like the trade I took yesterday in terms of how it's reacting at specific levels. So that's what I'm noticing right now. It's not reacting the way that I would expect it to react at specific levels. Here, that was cool there. This shouldn't have been back up here, because this is very balanced. So I just have to wait. And I'm not in a rush to get my money back. I'm not trying to just press buttons. I'm pressing it based off of what I see and what I believe is gonna happen. So we ran through this, and we're back inside this inverse gap here, which didn't show any willingness here, but this inverse gap did as well. And again, it could just be doing deep runs to come down here, but I would have much rather liked it to trade up there first, just in my personal opinion. Yeah, I got 2 break evens after nearly TP. Yeah, so for me, just right now, it looks like it's being very fickle right now. So I don't want to continue to be in this. I'm just gonna wait till 10 and look for a silver bullet, especially if you come up here and then break down first. That's more or less what I would be looking for, if that's possible. Because these are the days when you start to go on tilt, and I'm not doing that. Like I don't do that anymore. There's no need for that. If the setup arises, I take it. If it doesn't, it just doesn't, and that is fine. So initially tried to take it off the order block after this reaction here. Didn't get that. Got stopped out almost immediately. Came down. Traded up into the fair value gap. Ran through that as well. So again, for me, I think it's these PM session highs right now from Tuesday. And if I look at ES is a little bit weaker. There's no like significant SMT in terms of selling right now or buying down here. I would have much rather see if we could trade down to here. This is where like the lower portion is. And then these are where the clean lows are from. Pretty much we can say London, or since midnight, so essentially right down there. Yeah, I'm thinking the PM session highs right now are what's in play. So I'm just gonna wait for that and see what we're getting here, because right now this looks really sloppy. So I'm not in a rush at this point. When I saw this and this gap here, I believe at this point it should have went down and at least got to here. It was unable to do that. So there's really nothing else for me to look at this point. So right now I'm looking at this volume imbalance here, there, and there. Looking at that volume imbalance. See, we're unable to hit there. Went up higher, and so the PM session highs I think is what's in target right now. Now once we get there, that's when I'll be looking to see what happens there. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we get the PM session highs from Tuesday. Now how do we react? How do we respond there? That's what I'm watching. Where do the bodies close? How does it react? What is there even on a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart? What are we trading into? A gap here. So the fair value gap there. I'm thinking we're going to hit these up here. Just the way that it looks, I'm thinking it's going to trade up here. So I think those are targets right now. Now we have this large gap here that's straight above the high. That's cool. But I want to see what kind of happens here. I would have much rather liked it if it traded down here. I don't know if ES did that. That would have changed a lot of. So ES did do that. Okay, so I didn't even see that. That's on me. So ES did take out its lows. I didn't notice that. That would have changed a lot of things. So ES was able to take out its lows down here. So the fact that so now we have SMT towards the bottom and then these equal highs, yeah, that was a buy. Was never a sell. But it's fine. We learned from this. So yeah, these are what's gonna get taken out right now, up here. So now for me, it's like, okay, so there was SMT that I didn't see from the downside. I didn't have that chart up. I had a different one up. So we had SMT here. We had clear buy side there, clear buy side here, and clear buy side there. So now for me, I'm still gonna wait till 10. It may hit it before then, but that's what I'm looking at now. Is SMT down here. Really, the only play would have been inverse fair value gap down here when it traded down there, and then breaker play right here to trade up to there. Initially up there. So. We shall see what happens. So that's of no importance to me at this point. This here though, remember you trade above it, trade down to it, that's a buy 944. Take up to there, see if you can get there and there. First presented fair value gap is here. So SMT at the lows with ES, which ES has looked stronger, I'm sorry. So I want to see this trade down a little bit deeper, personally. We do have the mouse sake, so that was hit too. So now AM session high is gone. And then from Tuesday, and that's probably the next one. It's layered, so it's right there. So we almost hit the PM session high from Tuesday. We fell short of it. Notice how we didn't even come down to this high. We hit AM session high from Tuesday and AM session high from Monday. Now I didn't want to necessarily buy right off the open because we had a large range. But I did not see the SMT that we had to the upside because I wanted to see us trade up here. Just didn't get that. It's okay. So this high right here is definitely in play and definitely a target. Now what I'm watching though is the 5-minute chart because we'll have a gap here. I want to see if we can trade up and hit this gap or hit this high right now. So if we take the range right now, down here is the discount, and a discount that overlaps with this breaker on the 1-minute chart. That's what I'm looking for. Just so you can visually see. I would prefer to see it after 10 just because my time frame I have to wait. I took 2 losses right in a row pretty quickly, so I just have to wait. And still gonna go with 2 as my lowest one. Because right now this is a breaker, fair value gap, high there. As long as we can create and keep above this high, but also keep a 5-minute gap, I prefer that. So don't want to be rushing in this right now. But this is the level that I would look at. I've just taken too many, so in a time element, so I can't take any more right now. I have to just wait. But that's an area. As long as we close above this high though, I'd rather see that if we can pull back off that. That's what I'm watching right now. Because we failed to get to the lower portion of the opening range gap. Here we have time. So if we look at this, I wanted to see if we could trade down here minimum. We didn't get that either. And then see if sell side was right above that. So that's what I was looking for. And then if this had happened, that's what I would have been more expecting that. Especially because we failed there. But it's just we didn't get that. That's fine. So we're at the PM session high, trading up into this gap. Okay, what happens here? The bodies of this at the high, closed above it. Again, AM session high Monday. But yeah, I'm thinking that we're gonna go higher because we've hit this out. This is the next level of liquidity that's layered, and it's Wednesday's PM session high, or sorry, AM session high. I'm sorry, Monday's AM session high. I'm sorry. So, but I just have to wait till 10 o'clock. So about 6 minutes, and then we'll get a good idea of what's being respected and what's not, and then where we could potentially go. How's everyone doing though? How is everybody doing? See, days like these used to like get me gone because I would lose quickly, and it's like I need to make my money back. I don't need to make money back. I don't need to do any of that. Just really have to be patient. I think it closed. It did close. Okay, so I just want to annotate where the fair value gap is, so I know. I did like that we closed above it. If we can kind of trade a little bit lower in the next 4 minutes, like kind of be down here, that would something that I would look to see if we can take out this AM session high from Monday. That would be my next thing. Yeah, bias. Yeah, I'm thinking it's here. Well, I would have rather liked to see this first. You know, I was talking a little bit before this had happened that I didn't necessarily trust this because I've seen this before. But when I saw it come up here and then create this gap here, I was like, okay, we can at least trade down to here. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, this needs to, like at 10 o'clock, what I want to see is it create the 10 o'clock low. I want to see it create the 10 o'clock low, and then that's what I want to see, if that's possible. It may not happen like that. It may not occur like that, but that's essentially what I'm looking for. So I want to see some consolidation up here. See, it may take out the 5 minute. It may trade into the 5 minute gap, and you know, it'd be a missed opportunity if it just comes here and it runs up higher, and then that's just how today is, and that's fine. I want to put this on as a gap. So this will be the FVG. I just want to know where this is. 50% level. Okay, it's like right above the high. Okay, so those two overlap. So the 50%, the gap, and the gap, they all overlap. So I'm just watching ES as well. Finally, and like this is good. We're finally seeing some strength or more strength in Nasdaq. Usually the last couple days you've seen the strength in ES, and so Nasdaq has been really, really not as we'll say pleasurable to trade, just in terms of how slow it's been doing and going. So hopefully we can stay out of it until 10, but we'll see. That's what I'd be hoping for. That's what I'd be expecting. But we'll see what ends up happening. And I'll try to see if we can, if at 10 it wants to trade lower, it trades down to this gap or down to this, that's where I'll buy it, and my stop loss will go literally right below this. Because I believe if it's good, it shouldn't trade below there. So that's kind of how I'll have it. I'm going to set my buy limit just so it's there. TP will be up here. And then when it's time to go, I'll place it there. About like 30 seconds left. And I'll place it there. Or if it already hits there, then there's nothing else for me to do there. So there's a 1 minute SMT. Let me look. I gotta focus here on this now. So it's already traded down into it. I'm gonna see if it can, once it hits that, I'll go into, okay, so that's where I'll put it there. I'll place it there. And it may have just, I just literally may have missed it. And that's fine. May have missed it, but this thing's like frozen right now. There it is. So just missed it by what, a couple seconds in terms of like entering on the 5 minute gap. That's what I would be looking for, and see if we could trade up to the AM session high. Now, what I'm probably going to do, this thing is freezing right now. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. So, based off this reaction, if we can, I don't even like, we'd have to trade down here for me to get in. We'd have to trade back down there. See, we traded into the gap. We'd have to trade down there for me to get in. I think it's gone at this point. We just missed it time-wise. Just my time element. I couldn't get in, but because I'd already taken 2 losses, I can't get in. If I would have waited and didn't take these losses, that's where the entry would have been. But it's just part of my rules. Yeah, no, I mean, inverting this, I saw that. It's just like for where it is right now, I'm not trying to chase it for 41 points. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I want to see if we can. So we have SMT at the high right now with ES. ES was able to take this out. Nasdaq wasn't as of right now. So the way that we reacted inside this 5-minute gap, I'd be okay with. Okay, it already did it. Well, I was trying to buy there, but it already had happened. But let's see if we can. So I'm gonna buy there now. And I'm going to take it up to the AM session high. My stop loss is going to go to the mean threshold of this, like 71. And after this, if this loses, then there's nothing else I can do now. Now I'd have to. This would be when I close the charts, I let it go, and I mean, if with you guys on, I'm not going to close it and like let it go and just move on. But this is how I would do it for the day. I can only take 3 trades, and so the rest of the day I'd pretty much just watch and see how price is acting and responding. But after this, since I wasn't able to enter in there, price trending down into this order block with this fair value gap, we have this high up here, which I'll probably take one off there, actually. Just to pay myself, I'll take one off here. I'll sell one there. If we can reach up there, that's pretty much what I'll be looking for. I like this reaction. I like how it was left. Didn't fully close it. It hit the order block. We close above there. That's what I like. But, you know, price does what it's going to do anyways. So I just sit here and observe. That's all I can do. I'm not worried. I'm not scared of losing, being wrong. I've understood that, like, if I try to rush back in or try to do things that don't make sense to me, that's the problem. Losing is not the issue, because this is part of trading. Losing is a part of trading. The issue is when I do things that I'm not supposed to be doing, that I know I'm not supposed to be doing. That's the part that is an issue in this whole thing. So that's more or less like what the problem is. So if I lose this, I lose it. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. So we went back down to the PM session high, and it looks like I'll probably get stopped out here on this order block. It's just one of those days. Yeah, I think it would be stopped. Okay, so got stopped. So 3 trades, no win. So we'll see what ends up happening. I can no longer take any more buys. This is how it would be if it was my funded account. So took a loss here, a loss here. Does it end up coming down here and trading higher? It could. That's possible. And I didn't wait for that. I saw this reaction here, expected that, but this is part of it. So let's see what we get here. We took out this low here. Do we get a reaction trading higher? Let me take that out so I don't sell accidentally. Here. So let's see. So this is the original buy. We'll put that on, where is it? Long position here. Stop loss was there. Take profit was there. So this was the original what I was looking for. So let's see what we get there. I'm just gonna leave it like that so I can see. See what we get here. So the gray outline is the 5-minute gap. That's there as well. Okay, so theoretically we'd be entered in now, entered in long. We'd be entered in long here. And stop loss would be right below this, like a tick below, right there. That's how I'd be looking at this if I was able to get in again, but since I've taken 3, I cannot take any more. This is what I'd be looking for. So initial, nice reaction. We traded below, the bodies are still up here. So it's initial nice reaction. Now obviously want to see this. I gotta get rid of that, can't see. Now we want to see if price has shown a willingness or wants to trade above this gap. Right now I'm watching ES at the same time, showing a little bit more strength than Nasdaq at the moment. Now it looks like ES wants to give up the ghost. Trading softer. So now it's trading down into its 5-minute gap now. So I would have been stopped there. So that would have been 4 trades in a row. I would have lost this one, this one, this one, this one. But that was a trade setup that I was looking for, potentially trade up here. Now that I think that this has occurred, based off what I'm looking at, this seems more like most likely after trading up to the buy side, because we had a large range gap, 200 some handles. We then, during specific time elements between 10 and 11, especially with a large range gap, to where's 11 to 11, this is our potential reversal zone. You already had a gold tails. Nice job, teacher. This is our reversal zone. So with this gap being left open, I'm watching. Does this have the ability to resist price now? And do we trade down to the sell side? Do we take out the initial low of the day, or regular trading hours low of the day? That's what I'm watching right now. Let's look at ES. So ES is trading down into its gap on the 5-minute chart as well. So what I'm wondering if this is gonna stay a breakaway gap. That's what I'm wondering right now. In my head, is that gonna stay a breakaway gap? And we're gonna look to trade a little bit softer. So in my head, I go breakaway gap. And then do we trade down to take out this initial sell side here? There. Because if you look at here, right, look at this gap here. Bodies went on a little bit, but then went down during 10 o'clock. After that time frame, we went up. I think this was just putting in a premium for us to sell softer. So again, learning experience. I'm not upset. 10 o'clock, 11, reversal time, large range gap, bias, or sorry, we're trading up higher. This is the selling opportunity is here. After 10 o'clock, trades up higher, sell side, and then we're going back to our original targets, which we were trying to get down here. Or my original targets, trying to get down there. Yeah, gold, I haven't traded gold lately. I was, honestly, when I passed the accounts, I was trading gold a lot more because the indexes were just not aligning with what I would want to see. So that's what was kind of happening here. Yeah, so we have this gap here. Do we want to come up here and tap it? I don't know. From where it's at, probably not. We'll probably run with speed down here, just based on this has been one-sided, but it can do whatever. But yeah, this initial sell side would be it. And we'll see what happens here. So we're not high of day. We ran through these, reversal point between 10 and 11. What are we looking for? The upper portion of the opening gap range would be the 0.25, and that would be the target. So the target would be, it hit it now. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a picture of that, and let's see if we can get to this original sell side here. So if we get to there, I'll set a, I'll take another screenshot, and then what I do is I go back to my journal. I note all this, talk about all this, and say from 10 to 11 was looking for sells, tried too early. Then I tried to buy, thinking that we would take out the AM session high here, but ultimately the initial process of trading above this to then come lower, that was my original thought process, and that's what happened. So I don't beat myself up over that, of thinking that, okay, that we're probably going to run up higher before we come lower. So I just, again, it didn't happen. It happened, but it happened later. That's fine, but I don't beat myself up over it, if you know what I mean. So we already hit the top percent of it, which is there. I would look to see if we could hit this. Then I screenshot that when that happens. There we go. So then now I go over my journal and talk about, yes, I may have gotten mixed up in the beginning, but ultimately what I thought was going to happen happened, and here it is. And so for me, this isn't a loss. I don't go home, I don't go into my journal and talk bad and say that, oh well, all this stuff. That's not how I do it. Because when I used to do that, it was bad. Let's put it like that. I couldn't trade after that because I didn't trust myself. So now 50% of the gap is roughly right here. I'm looking on another screen that you can't see. It's right here pretty much. This is 50% of the gap. Let's put it in the middle. Let's do this. So this is 50% of the gap right there. So if we hit that, screenshot that as well. Let me just go look at something real quick. Okay, so now we ran through all that. So we failed to hit. Hold on, I just need to look at something real quick. No, we did hit that, but I wouldn't have counted that. Okay. For a second, I thought I was talking on mute. Hey, bro, don't worry about that. So, in terms of the eval, right? It's a lesson, and it's don't look at it like, oh, I lost 1,000 on eval, like it's over, right? We don't want to look at it like that. It's never over, right? You always have the opportunity to, like, there's always another trading day, which is Monday, which is even better in my opinion, because you have a lot better probabilities, higher probabilities next week, in my opinion. This still panned out. Don't get me wrong. All of this still panned out. Screenshot, right? The way, like, my idea and way I envisioned it, it panned out exactly like that. I just wasn't able to take a part of it because I got caught up in this, which is fine, right? Like, losses happen. I feel like sometimes as traders we expect to always win and to never be losing, or if we lose, it's always very little. Like, it happens, right? It's a part of the process of learning to trade. Like, I don't think of myself any less than the fact that I didn't get to participate in this. I don't think about that at all. But this was my plan going into the market. I just got caught up down here, and then I switched sides, thinking that we could maybe take out this side, which didn't happen. Cool. You move on to the next trading day, because this is what I think, like, the biggest thing that I've taken from playing any sport, but I specifically played football, but playing any sport at a high level, right? You make mistakes. You always are going to make mistakes. It's not, if you're trying to prevent mistakes, then you're not playing. I can tell you that right now. And so mistakes happen. These things happen. And understanding that, okay, I can move on to the next day. I can move on to the next play. I don't have to get it back quick. Right? I don't have to get it back right now. And if you look about, like, trying to make the money back or trying to, get the next play, you're making things based off an emotional decision, which you don't want to get to that point, especially when things aren't looking good for you right now in the moment. Right? This day, like just think about it right now. This day right now doesn't look good in the moment. But trust me, it's done way more than what it has done on a good day. Because you don't know what's good and what's bad in the moment until later. You have no idea what that means. Like, nothing is explainable until later in the future. So for me, I'm okay. Like, I'm gonna go to bed tonight. I'm gonna go to the mall. I'm gonna go do all these things and have fun. This doesn't ruin anything for me. And so when you lose, just be like, it's a part of the process. It's a part of playing the game. That's all it is. It's a part of playing the game. If you want to play the game, you're going to take losses. And this is just it, right? So it's like I wasn't able to take advantage of the vision that I had today for what I was looking for. I wanted to see us trade up higher and then trade lower. It didn't give it to me. Or it gave it to me, but it gave it to me later. And in a way I wasn't expecting. And that's fine. So you just see that as, okay, I lost money. Okay, cool. It's part of playing the game. Next time, this is how I handle it. And then you just go from there. Don't be too hard on yourself, especially when you lost. That's gonna cause problems later on in your trading journey, or if it's not already doing it now, it's definitely gonna cause it later. And it is what it is, right? It happens. Nothing you can do about it. But yeah, does anyone have any questions or anything? Because I think I'm about to head to the mall soon. Just go see what's there. But yeah, so this is just a day that it is what it is. It's just a day. It's a trading day out of who knows how many I'll have in my trading career. It's a lot. And this didn't affect me in one bit. And it shouldn't affect you either, depending on whether you won money today or you lost money today. This day you don't want to get too high, and you don't want to get too low. This day is just a normal trading day, and it happens every day. Right? The whole mantra with ICT is every day, Because every week, every day, it won't stop, right? So if you understand that it comes again, the bus comes again, you're not worried about days like these. And you have a good risk to reward, this is all gone in one trade. Trust that. It's gone. And so just having that understanding and that ability that it doesn't matter. Like, does it feel good to lose? No. But I'm not going to let this thing ruin my day, ruin my weekend, ruin it. Like, that's how it used to affect me, actually. It used to get me to the part where I was the people, think it got taken out on other people, not like physically or anything like that, but like verbally, just yelling at people. And it's just like, it doesn't need to be like that, right? So just keep your head out, bro. There's always the next trade, always tomorrow. And that's what I hope that you're, left with today. Everyone has days like these. And sometimes you may or may not see that on social media, but it is what it is, right? This is the reality of trading. You don't win every single day. But all right, I hope you guys have had a great start to your New Year's. I know I have. Trading wise, life wise, everything. We've hit the lower portion of the gap now as well. We might even get a full gap closure today, which should be very interesting. Full gap closure today. But yeah, I hope you guys had a great day. You guys have a great day. Don't let anything affect you, whether you did well tonight or today or didn't. That's fine. I think this is 70. This thing was to be 75%. But yeah, if it didn't happen the way that you would expect it, that's fine. And just move on and enjoy your day today. Enjoy your weekend. I'll go over the trades that I took. I'll put up a YouTube video, kind of go over every single trade I took this week. And I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.